Here we go. Let's begin, everybody. So, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. Good morning. Wherever you are, listen to this recording. I just want to say welcome to you. My name is Andrew B. Campbell, aka DR.ABC, and I am an assistant professor here at OISE in racial justice and teacher education. I am also the coordinator for the Black Future Educators Pathway, of which you are here this evening, this afternoon, for information on that. Before we begin anything like we always do here at OISE, we're going to go into a few important things, and one of those things are our land acknowledgements. So I just want to welcome you to the Black Future Educators Pathway. This is one of many outreach opportunities I will be sharing online with you, so you can actually go to the website to see where you can get additional information. This is just but one such opportunity, and specifically this evening I'm going to go through what BFEP program is about. We're going to ask some of our present student, year 2 and year 1. Two persons are with us just to say hello, take a minute to say how they're enjoying the program, and then we're going to open for specific questions that you may have that may not have been answered on the website Q&A. So I'm going to go right into that. At this time, I want to take a minute to move the land acknowledgement, and give me a minute. Wonderful. For which we wish to acknowledge this land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. At this time also, I'm going to move on with the ancestral acknowledgement. I'm going to call on our year 2 student, Summer Hyatt, to do that for us.
We acknowledge the Indigenous Africans who were forcefully removed from their native lands and dispersed across the New World. This involuntary migration heavily contributed to the movement of African descended people across the African diaspora to places like Canada. As students and learners, we deem it highly necessary to think deeper and examine the processes that led to the dispossession of Indigenous peoples on this land and settler colonialism, stolen people on stolen land. In entering a conversation about anti Black racism, it is important to center the humanity of Black children and Black families and to examine systems such as the education system that act upon them. Professor, you're muted.
Thank you so much. Awesome. I want to say thank you so much for that, Summer. Absolutely. Thank you. So let's jump right into it. So, BFEP, what is BFEP? Why are we here? What do we talk about? What is the intent of a program like BFEP? And BFEP, the concept of BFEP is not new. Black Future Educators Pathway. It is one of those of many intentional pathways that have happened in the University of Toronto and other universities around Canada and in other spaces to make sure that we disrupt the lack of representation and disrupt some of the anti-blackness and racism that has happened that prevents us from having the number of Black teachers or increased number of Black teachers and racialized teachers in our school. And this is grounded on so many reports, grounded on on our the master of teaching and race, the master of teaching race and inclusion report that was done. We also looked at other documents, anti-black racism working document here at the University of Toronto, and to say to ourselves that our schools need more Black educators. And the thing about it is that we are simply this video or this process or this entire thing is about making sure that happens. If you talk to most of our students, many of our students, they will say to you, they have had one Black teacher, some have had none. In 2025, I am still in a university, still the first black professors for many of our black students. Imagine going to school from kindergarten right up until university and never experience a black teacher. And so we need more black teachers in our education system, in our classrooms, and for many reasons. And so this is why this program is intentional about that. So this is formally what we call access. So we started out years ago, about 4 years ago, testing and building this pathway. And so it seeks to build an intentional pathway to attract future black educators and provide them with the multifaceted support to assure success in OISE's Master of Teaching, what we call the MT program. Numerous studies and policy reports have identified, as I said before, how the persistent lack of teacher diversity fails to reflect student diversity in K-12 schools and contributes to the reproduction of inequitable outcomes as students miss the benefits of representative role models who adapt culturally responsive and critically conscious pedagogy. And so, of course, this initiative seeks to address the persistent harm identified, as I said before, in the University of Toronto's Anti-Black Racism Task Force Report 2021, and it aligns with other reports that we have done here at University of Toronto in the Master of Teaching program. I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I want to show you a few things that are important for me to make sure you see. So I'm going to share my entire screen with you at this time, and I'm going to go a little bit from tab to tab to kind of give you something very, very important for you to see where we're going with this. And so let me share my entire screen at this time. The first thing I want to share with you on our screen is the website. So this is the website. It's live. You can go, just type in BFEP, type in BFEP at an OISE, BFEP at OISE, and it will take you to this page, sorry. You'll see everything I'm saying here. You'll see the reports I mentioned. It's important to be informed. You will see those reports that I mentioned. You see them right there listed. You'll see about the teaching requirements, and more than anything else, you'll see about the academic pathway, the BFEP practicum, you'll see about mentoring and community support, and you'll see about other co-curricular activities. There's always a lot of questions about scholarships and co-curricular activities, and today was one of those days, and I'm going to say this for the record, was one of the days I realized at a meeting today how many BFEP students have been employed in OISE as outreach coordinator, work study students, GAs, RAs. And so there are opportunities for co-curricular opportunities and networking, and also opportunities for even furthering your work as a student here by being a graduate assistant, a research assistant, or a work study student. And then I got a beautiful news today that another one of our BFEP students is work study for another professor. And so there are many opportunities, and I want you to take your time out to get on the website and see. We also have some frequently asked questions as well. Please take the time to look at that. It's good to be informed. It is absolutely important to be informed. So I want to do that first, and I want to make sure that is captured in the recording. The second thing I want to do is to show you that the University of Toronto OISE, we had an open house on October the 4th. That open house, of course, come and is gone, but all the recordings are here to see what is going on. So I want you to be intentional about that. If you look at the sessions, they'll tell you about welcome sessions. You look at program sessions, the recordings are there. So there's a recording for the Master of Teaching. It's right here. There's also a recording that happened during the 12 o'clock period. And one of those recordings is actually the BFEP program. So what I'm sharing with you today is actually on another recording for a day that it happened on October the 4th. And we had a lot of students, and a good number of students attending on that day. So if you're out in the community listening to this video and you want more information, please be advised that in addition to this video, there are also other recordings hosted on the University of Toronto website. It talks about the Master of Teaching program in general. So that is this one up here in general, but it's also specific about BFEP as well. So outreach is there. I would like for everyone to make sure you share that information with students, with future students. I also want to take the opportunity for this recording to tell you that on our website, you can also find the information about the first cohort, which is September the 3rd, 2024, of which you're going to hear from Summer Hyatt, who was in that cohort right here at the front, brand new in the program. I know you've seen yourself, Summer, and now couple months away from graduating and go living your best life. And I must say, it has been an honor to be a part of the work with you, Summer. And I can say this for the recording because I think it's important that I just did a recommendation for you for a particular school board that sent and asked for your recommendation. So it just warms my heart when I saw that across my email. I was like, you better go, Summer. I also want to tell you on the website also is last year, this year, just a couple months, well, 2 months ago to be exact, the new court, and I know Taisha Walker is here, and I know Shamar Barnett is also here, and this was their time. I see you over here, Shamar. I see you over there, and I see you, and you'll get to hear from them. They'll take a minute to say hello in a couple minutes, to introduce themselves as well. So these things are all on our website. So I really took the moment today because I want you to go on the website and look at these stuff, look at the virtual recordings, and look at the website to be very informed of what we're doing here when it comes to you being a part of this. So that is that. I'm glad I shared that. I'm going to go back now and share more of the actual PowerPoint presentation. And so we are talking about being a part of a program like this, and the next thing is application process. So this is a big one. It's on the recording as well. How do I get into BFEP? How do I get into the Master of Teaching program itself? So here comes the first important thing that you need to know, that there's nothing extra required of you to be a part of BFEP. Every single thing that every single student who applies to, or is it to be a part of the Master of Teaching, every single thing that they do, you will do. This is very intentional. For many pathway over the years, you have heard about pathways. One of the complaints for some students who have been a part of pathway is as if they have to do something extra to prove themselves. There's nothing extra to prove yourself except choosing to be a part of a pathway like this that is intentional and is specified for Black future educators. So you have to be self-identified as Black to be a part of this pathway. And your application gets to be channeled in an additional layer of support, of evaluation to get in. So I feel a need to say two quick things. The first one is we get a lot of applicants at the University of Toronto. What do you, I've had students to be like, oh, my experience was not as great and whatever. This is a sought after program. Let me just be very frank with that and unapologetic. The University of Toronto Master of Teaching program is a sought after program. We take in an average, I think it's every year it differs, but it's between 4 to 450 students. 4 to 450, about that. Every year it's a little bit different. 410, 420. You know how that goes. I can tell you it's over 1,700 applicants. I want to be very clear on that kind of number of applicants. So I'm sure you're curious, what about the BFEP? In the BFEP, for this year, we had over 100 applicants. We took in 41. So this is not something where you feel like, oh, if I apply, I'll get in like everybody else. It is competitive like every other program. But being a part of a cohort like this, it's magical. It is magical. When I go to school, especially on a Tuesday, I walk into one of my classes, and one of my classes is the BFEP class, and there are 39 Black future educators in front of me. The joy I feel in a space like that, there are many Black professors and many Black students who have never got that opportunity. What it feels like to be in a learning space with people who look like you, who are in a space like you, and they're intentional about so many things. What does that feel like? And so for students, it also feel it's amazing, and I can tell you that with a lot of work. So application process, you're going to start with identifying the division and the teachables you're interested in. You're going to provide your personal contact and information, provide your academic history, transcript, English proficiency if necessary, provide your resume, a completed experience chart, and then you get to answer 3 questions that says that everybody gets to answer, and then you provide your references. I must tell you something very important for the recording again. Every year we have applicants that could not be forwarded because they were incomplete. I have to pause to say that, because I know for a fact that there are students who have applied thinking, well, they must be reading my application at this time, and it's not ever going to be read because it's incomplete. So I want you to be very clear on that. And I know there's some chat in the comments in the chat, and I know Summer and Taisha and Shamar will be able to respond to some of those questions. So this is where the magic happens, where you opt in. One moment, you go on your application, and there's this part that you says, do you wish to apply through the Black Future Educators Pathway? If so, please select yes. And of the 1,700 people, how many of you decide to select yes, then that is where it starts. So I'm sure you can do the maths of why pathways are so important, the different pools you are placing, and the different consideration. So you are no longer in a pool of 1,700, so to speak. You're in a pool of over 100, right? Still as competitive, still strong applicants that are being sought after to be in a program like this. But you're in a space where there's a lot more consideration and intentionality happening here. And so I think I saw a question like this in the chat as well. So what is the pathway? The pathway is, oh, and very important, am I going to be in the university only in with the Black students in the pathway? No, no, no. You are going to be placed in a cohort of 30 to 35 students that we bring from all spaces and places. You're going to be in one of our dynamic cohorts. Your classmates are going to be from all different identities, all different places, spaces, and except they're going to be in your subject area or your PJ or JI or IS. That's it. However, for the academic pathway, there are 2 courses or a number of courses that you will now be doing with your pathway. So in year 1, which is what we're in right now as we speak, all the pathway, the Black pathway future educator student, they do 3 things together. They do research, they do one course, another course anti-discrim, and their practicum placement. This has to be corrected. Their practicum placement for all practicum for fall and for winter will be intentional, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. And all our students at OISE, they do 2 elective in the Master of Teaching. You will also automatically be enrolled in your 2 elective because that's what make you BFEP. So if you ask, can I not do these elective and choose something else? No. That's why you choose a pathway to, and those electives are intentional to talk about Black educators, identity and pedagogy and practice, and urban education, curriculum and pedagogy. This is the tools that you are being given specifically to work in spaces. And then, of course, we continue with research too, and then again, practicum. Every other course you will take with your cohort or with everybody else. These are the courses so far that you are assigned to when it comes to the BFEP program. And I want to be clear on that. Then we move on to practicum. So, like we said, our BFEP students, they go to practicum like everybody else in the fall, in the winter, and the next year again for year two in the winter. What we do, we have purposeful placements. And this is, as I said, I need to update this, not just in the winter, but for the entire placement. We place you in Peel, TDSB, Durham. We can actually update this to say Durham District School Board, Toronto Catholic School Board, Halton District School Board, York District School Board, York Catholic, and Dufferin Peel Catholic. And I know people are saying, what? Yes. We started out with only three boards that we were focusing on with our BFEP students. Now we have BFEP students in every single school board, including private schools, if we have placements that are fitting for Black self-identified teachers in private schools who says, I want to support BFEP by taking a Black student in my school. That is absolutely open, and we do that as well. And I see applaud from you there, Summer, because you have been a part of this and to see the growth. That is the intentionality that we are using. So comes time to listen to, we're going to introduce our three students who will speak. We're going to have you go first, Summer, Taisha, and then Shamar. Each will take a minute or a minute and a half to talk about their personal experience. But I want to say to you, in BFEP, we also have an amazing, if not the most amazing, group of student leadership as well. The Master of Teaching Black Students Association with the MTBEA, and they have done the most. Everybody in this picture is graduated and working on and doing PhD or something. I see PhD, I see teachers, I see full-time, I see university in this group. These are all alumni, BFEP alumni. And the next one, I'm going to, before I turn over to them, you can get to see the email, take a picture of the email here. I guarantee you, you write a letter to email to MTBEA, your email will be answered in less than 24 hours. That's how amazing they are. And you can join them on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram even now to see what's going on. And this is also alumni. Everybody in this picture is teaching. Everybody. Well, that's me over there. But everybody else, well, one is doing a PhD. No, everybody's teaching. That's that's better. Yeah, everybody's teaching. Everybody's in school living their best life and teaching. They're out there. And these are BFEP. This is when BFEP was just working through. We had like 8 persons in BFEP, 11 persons in BFEP until we got launched big. And now we have first cohort of 33 and the second cohort of 39. And so that is it. So this time I'm going to ask our BFEP students to say hi, say something to us, tell us how amazing you are and how amazing the program is, and living your best life. So, Summer, over to you first.
Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. My name is Summer Hyatt. I'm in my second year of the Master of Teaching program at OISE. I am a part of the first official Black Future Educators Pathway class, and I am excited to be here, excited to see all your beautiful faces. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. What do I say about BFEP? It has changed my life, truly. I came to OISE in a completely different program, and while I was here, I got bit by the teaching bug, if you will. I have a background in design. My first career is illustration, so I was freelance illustrating, and then I decided to go back to school, and it wasn't quite hitting the way I expected it to until I learned about the Master of Teaching program and BFEP, and I applied, and I never looked back. Um, I am now a member of the OCT under my transitional certificate for teaching. Um, I'm hoping that I can put it to good use pretty soon. You can supply teach on your transitional certificate while you're in school. I'm also an executive member of the Master of Teaching Black Educators Association. So the people he's talking about emailing and responding within less than 24 hours, I am one of them. Um, Apply. That's all I can say. Apply, apply, apply. It doesn't hurt. All you have to do is check mark a little box. The community that you experience when you're in your BFEP cohort is unmatched. Yeah, your own home cohort's cool, but being with your peers and being with people who look like you is particularly when you are literally a minority, it hits different. You learn differently, you show up differently, you apply yourself differently. So apply, go for it, do it, be a part of one of the best education programs in the world. By the way, when you're doing your application, please read. Please read it carefully, take your time with it because there will be things that you miss and you'll be like, ooh, and they will throw out your application and not look back. But yeah, BFEP's where it's at. Come join us.
Thank you so much. Taisha, over to you. Tell us who you are, all that good stuff. Thank you so much, Summer.
Thank you, Summer. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Happy that you guys are here to join us today. My name is Taisha Walker, and I am year one here at the Masters of Teaching in the BFEP cohort. My background is in social work, and then I transitioned over working at York Region District School Board as an EA and then a graduation coach for Black students. And what I was hesitant to apply due to like what you put in the chat. I think someone put about their marks in university. Um, and I would say still apply because it's not just about your marks. It's about the experience you bring and who you are as a person and what we bring to our learning and what we hope to achieve as we dismantle systems out there. And one of the things I'm really enjoying about the pathway is the emphasis on self. It's something that you don't think about, but something coming in newly 2 months in now, we are learning so much about ourself and who we are as a person. So when we get out into the field, when we're tested, we stay true to that, to your core. And so that is something that is very intentional, I think was designed by the program, but something that I was struggling with because normally you're like, tell me about yourself, and you're able to do that. But knowing your core foundation and what you're going to bring, and even when you're tested in the school that you're working in, just staying true to that self. So please, yes, apply. Doesn't matter your grades, apply. No, you cannot work full time in this program. I'm a working girly. I'm going to just tell you that right now. It's not possible. But there is opportunities as I did get a GA position myself. So I'm very thankful for that. So, please apply, look into the resources at the school because there's so many. You're nervous about your writing. We have the writing center. Just apply. Nothing venture, nothing gain. Apply, apply, apply.
That's it. Like, okay, that's a soundbite. Apply, apply, apply. But also something you said, Taisha, this is so beautiful, is answer a couple of the questions. No, it's a full-time heavy program. It's an accelerated program. It's a master in teaching. You can't work full-time to do it. I've had students who have tried it and it ended up being a problem and they realize so, but part-time jobs, yes. Other opportunities, I must tell you, if one of our amazing alumni, you'll get to see on the video later when you go on the website, Antonia talked about applying for so many scholarships and getting it. I know year two students who have gotten 2 and 3 different scholarships. The little that they have applied to, but it takes work and it takes intentionality to go there and to do that. But I also love what you said, Taisha, about working on self. We want strong, beautiful, amazing people to become teachers. And if I had the power, what you get from me and you get from us in BFEP, I would give to everybody because people have to work on self to be strong and good at what you are. And so I understand that we in BFEP as coordinators, myself and the leadership team and people like David Montemiro and other persons, Marie Green, Professor Marie Green, who have put work into this, understand the power of Black folks knowing who we are and what we carry to be effective. So that is amazing. So thank you so much. Shamar, tell us who you are and all that good stuff.
Yes, good evening, everyone. My name is Shamar Barnett. I'm currently a year one teacher candidate in OIS's BFEP program. And honestly, I'm excited to share space with everyone to tell you guys about my experience as aspiring BFEP candidates, because I remember not long ago actually being in your seat, attending information sessions and just trying to be in the space. So you all are already taking the right steps, and you're in the right spaces gathering information, being intentional, and that's always important, just something to keep in mind. So one of the things that I love most about BFEP, honestly, like among many things, um, I like the fact that you get to share space with like-minded people, and they also give you like practical ways to implement like cultural responsive and relevant pedagogy, which is actually something we covered today. So it's very fresh. Um, believe Dr. Campbell about the Tuesday classes. I'm there to witness. Also, something I'm looking forward to is like the research aspect of the program. So, like, I value the ability to be in the classroom, but the opportunity to mix that theory with real practice and go in intentional placement, like we discussed earlier. I'm really looking forward to that as a year one candidate. So, I'm really like not too far ahead in the journey than you all. So, I'm probably just one step ahead. So, like my perspective is probably something that you can probably like relate to and just take to. And I would say like if you're passionate about education in general, this is the right place to be because we're creating spaces to that look like us and that champion equity. So yeah, like apply, apply, apply. Um, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you all.
Nice, wonderful. Thank you so much. And like something that Shamar said, he was in the exact seat you were in last year. I remember Shamar being at one of these outreach, and there's so many students I look at when I meet them, and I go, I remember that face, I remember that name. So it bears fruit, and we get to that place. So thank you so much. We're going to continue quickly, and then we're going to open for any additional questions in a couple minutes. So we talked about that. You saw that already. The first official group of BFEP students last year. You saw it in our BFEP T-shirt. We have swag. We have good swag. So BFEP have good swag. I want you to see the faces and the joy and the representation. For me, this was a very, very special day. A very, very special day. It just felt just so powerful and beautiful this particular day when our students just showed up and just doing amazing work. At the front there, you see another a staff member, but also BFEP GA, and we just celebrate. And there's so many people in this picture who are in the workforce now. There's our year two on the left over there, Nadia, who was GA in the for the University of Toronto itself, diversity committee. Sarah Mohamud, who was my GA, who is now a PhD fully funded student. We're talking about doing the work, Crystal. We're talking about putting in and doing amazing, right? And I mean, it's time to apply for PhD already. And I've already have maybe more than two student application across my decks asking to be a reference for them. So BFEP is not just about getting your OCT and teaching, but those of you want to go on to further studies, Oise is a place. Let me just say that. That's the truth, right? And move in and let us live our best life and do well. So the contact numbers, they are there. If you need to reach out to me to ask anything specific, my email is there. But anything general, please send to the MT info at utoronto.ca. Do that. Reach out to them through email. They will respond to you. This is not the first year I'm doing this, at the second year, this at the third year. And I can tell you, when I see the MT info questions about BFEP, especially if you put BFEP in the subject line, it gets answered in no time. Like every other question, they get answered in no time. But if it's something that they can respond to, they will reach out to me, Dr. Campbell, and ask about that. And so at this time, thank you so much. We're going to open for a few Q&A at this time. For anyone who is not answered the question and not answered in the chat, you can raise it, and I'm gonna close the recording before I go into the Q&A, because I want to do that very specifically. So at this time, I just want to say thank you everyone for coming, for attending, for listening Please remember this recording will be on the website, and on the website already is last year's recording, and on the website is our October the 4th open house where BFEP did a session like this as well. So there's a lot of information online. Please utilize and read and go there for your answer. Nothing like getting it from the right place. So thank you so much, and I'm going to end the recording at this time.